let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's
You're quite hot.
That's right, just turn them down if you want, mate.
This one?
That's me, Steve's 2.
Try again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, you're peaking crazy. Can you move up the bow? Try that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, better.
Is that right? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nice.
1, 2.
Yeah.
And that stupid buzzing noise.
I'm not getting the buzzing. Are you
You never get it in here. It comes through the camera. But I think that might be a thing of the
Do
past.
you reckon you've gotten rid of it?
I reckon.
What's this? Is there a secret?
If I knew what it was, I would have been able to nip it in the bud weeks ago.
Like it's like if I knew what it was, I'd be a very rich man.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
She always comes to train me. Where? My parents take us go play with her with the ball. We will play with her. We're playing with you now. Sorry, we'll be right. She's only soccer ball. Shit. Kinda. That's like all on me. You're so beautiful, you know that? I think she definitely does. Yes, you do. What? We'll just come in. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll come annoy you in a minute. Okay, come on, Karen. Just be careful with the mud. It gets everywhere. Hi, Ralph. That's what she's throwing. Which way, bro?
One, two.
Midweek football comes to Altona on this cold Tuesday night. We're beneath the neutral floodlights of Paisley Park. The cup journeys of Avondale and Heidelberg United commence. Avondale, the de facto home side this evening, arrive wounded by defeat at the weekend, but encouraged still by the resilience they've shown in their first season among the top flight. And Heidelberg United, cup winners once, runners-up last year, a side lingering around mid-table in the league, but knowing full well that knockout football has a way of sharpening ambition. A fourth round all-NPLW Nike FC Cup tie awaits two clubs with genuine ambitions of August silverware, but in knockout football, possibility is fragile, and one of these journeys will end before the night is through. Brent Sternberg and Steve Curtin here with you on the Football Victoria YouTube channel as we get set to go on a chilly Tuesday evening. Can they do it on a cold, chilly evening at Paisley Park, Steve?
That is the question. That is the $64,000 question, Brent Sternberg. Pleasure to be with you tonight for this match as these two sides enter the Cup competition tonight for season 2026, round 4 of the Nike FC Cup when the NPLW sides enter. Let's take a look at the lineups, and there's only one change for Del Donnelly's side from the team that went down at home to Spring Hills on Saturday afternoon. They line up with Brooke Bennett in goals across the back four. There's no change from right to left. It's Azia Claridge, Isabella Ricardo, Gulcan Janet Cyrus, and the former Heidelberg left back Cameron Barrero. There's a new signing lining up in midfield. Be very familiar to the Heidelberg players. Teo Jurich, who started and played for the Burgers at Bentley and helped them get the 3 points on Friday night. She starts in midfield alongside Suka Miyata. In front of them, the attacking midfielder is the experienced Sydney Allen. BT Goad, the former Matilda, out on the left flank. Sloane Young, the American, on the right. And the New Zealander, who has been banging in the goals, Hannah Wilkinson, starts up top for the Avengers. On the bench tonight, they have Alana Bodgers, Daniela Galuccio, the only player who started on the weekend, who drops to the subs bench. Also, Cedar Howie, Olivia Lazarevsky, Lila Ross, and Kayla Zarkos. For the Burgers, there's a few more changes. They have actually rotated the squad a little bit with another Friday night match coming up this week. So they have Mia Bailey in goal again. No change to that back four of Annalie Bidwell, Rosie Wild, Maya Hasten, and Natalie Plant. There's two changes in midfield. Evie Tiktikakis, who came off the bench on Friday night, she gets a chance to start, as does Minori Aiyama. Sarah O'Donoghue, the signing in the transfer window from Perth Glory, starts again as the attacking midfielder. Irina Razumich and Sam Kerwood Wagner start on the flanks, and Ruby King comes in for the goal scorer Gian Seo to get her first start for the Heidelberg senior team. Angie Magnion is our referee tonight, and we are about to get underway, and it's the Burgers in there, all yellow tonight. They're playing to the right of your screen at home, the rail yards end of Paisley Park at this home away from home for the Avengers. And there's an early opportunity here for Ruby King to get the ball across the face of the goal, and it's a good take by Bennett and gets the palms warmed. Brent, this is an interesting match between two sides. They sit right next to each other on the league table in 7th and 8th, so there shouldn't be too much between them on talent and ability. And, a little bit of squad composition changes with the mid-season transfer window open at the moment.
Yes, as BT Goad plays Barrero in behind, firing it in towards the near stick, but easily captured by Mia Bailey. So early moments there for both goalkeepers, getting in amongst it. They've been good, a good addition to the top flight, haven't they, Avondale? Obviously been able to recruit some really good players and pinching some players as well in the transfer window. Such a peculiarity, isn't it, of Teodora Juric, who played for Heidelberg United on the weekend, and then just a couple of days later is lining up for the opposition. So she's in midfield in the number 13 for the Avengers this evening. And Heidelberg United, well, we're at the halfway mark, of course, now of the league season, Steve, and they've played in the last two grand finals. The Burgers obviously lost last season and had that thrilling win 2 years ago. Slow starters this season. I mean, we go to a top 6 this year, and the Burgers, I think, currently are equal with that team in 6th position. But I feel like they've been a little bit of a slow start. Generally, they start very well in the league, Heidelberg United, but they're currently, as you mentioned, 8th on the table, 6 wins, 4 losses, and a great performance on Friday night as they're hemming in Brooke Bennett here. They did go behind to Bentley, who of course are on the bottom of the table and really struggling, and they had to be bailed out by a couple of very late goals to Samantha Gerwood-Wagner and Ji-Yoon Seo, who is their leading goal scorer so far this season, but not in the squad tonight.
That's right. So with the match being on Friday night for them, we'll just pause as Beattie Goads trying to get in the box here, plays it across the face, and the flag's up over there for offside against the former Melbourne Victory attacker. Gave up playing A-League level to pursue her medical studies, and, well, what a good addition for Avondale. She's been so much experience in this front line when you look at Hannah Wilkinson and Sydney Allen, and also across on the far side as well, Sloane Young. Plenty of goals between them this season in the league. 24 across Avondale's attacking players so far this season, all of their squad combined, should I say, as we just have a little bit of a breather here with the beautiful city skyline in the background behind us here. Mia Bailey gets the ball going over to the far side of the venue. The pitch is fairly heavy at the moment out there. Here's a chance for Sarah O'Donoghue. Oh, it's a decent ball across the face looking for Kerwood-Wagner. And Bennett was out of her goal quickly, and she had to be there because Kerwood-Wagner, dangerous player on the score sheet last week to level things up on Friday night in the league. They can't afford to give her that amount of space and time, so it's going to be an interesting duel between her and Cameron Barrero, the former Heidelberg player up this near side. We'll be keeping a close eye on that one, Brent.
Yeah, we mentioned about Avondale recruiting really well. Of course, they've pinched quite a few players from Heidelberg United, haven't they? A couple of players that were a part of the championship winning team a couple of seasons ago. And Cameron Barrero, who's out at left back. And Barrero, of course, was in the team of the season last year. Here's Mia Bailey being called into action. And a clearance there has turned into a rather proactive pass for Razumic. And then here comes the run of her teammate. Back for Razumic. Heidelberg United in the all-gold this evening. Losing out in possession, Sloane Young. Hannah Wilkinson, one of the few players that needs no introduction out there this evening. Ball ricochets off Maya Hyson and out for a throw-in. It'll be interesting to see how their goals manufactured tonight, the Burgers, if they are indeed to score any. Seo has scored, I think, 11 goals so far in the league, and she was the one who scored the winning goal when these two teams met in the league, which wasn't that long ago. As Gnarly Plant plays that one out of play. She's been a terrific addition to the Heidelberg United side, coming from South Korea. As you mentioned, Steve, round 4 in the Cup, so this is the round that the teams in the Chanel MPLW Victoria enter, so they get the advantage, I guess, of having to sit out until now as the ball is whipped in, looking for BT Goad. Oh, not a convincing header there from Rosie Bidwell, I should say. The ball clanks around and is in the end gathered by Mia Bailey. So they do get the free passage into the 4th round, but of course with all the top teams coming in, it makes the fixture tough, and they've drawn one another, and both of these teams really potentially have the squads that could go on and win the competition, but one of them will be out tonight.
That's right, and Heidelberg would love to win this competition after being bridesmaids last year, not able to get over the line against South Melbourne on that penalty shootout. And here's Avondale in possession here. Beattie Goad, who's been busy early down this near side. And the pass was well read there that time by Bidwell. Getting back to cover there was Isabella Ricardo. Good switch of play by Bennett. Plays it out to Claridge, the girl from Bendigo, is able to play it up the line and find her teammate in Young. Wilkinson is in the middle, the dangerous Hannah Wilkinson. Couldn't quite find her. It's cleared away by that Heidelberg defence, but only as far as Miata. It's played across by Tio Jurich. This feels strange playing against her former side. So the story there, we had a chat to the coaches beforehand and very generous with their time and Del Donnelly had made the arrangements to sign Teo Juric from Heidelberg, but given Heidelberg's injury crisis, particularly last week in the Friday night game with Bentley, Del said, I'm happy for you to stay and play one more game with the Burgers rather than rush to come over and play in the match against Spring Hills, which Avondale did end up losing on the weekend. So the sportsmanship and the good-natured competitiveness and consideration of each other is certainly alive and well in the NPLW competition, and we see it tonight in the Nike FC Cup. This match will be played in good spirits. These players, so many of them know each other very well. This one's just going to stay in the grass. It's been trimmed, but it's still got a bit of length about it. It's not quite as long as it's not quite as it's not a heavy 8, but it's probably pretty close to that in some parts. Having a look, that goal mouth to the left of screen, that is very heavy there at the golf course end as Goad tries to get around her opponent in Bidwell. Barrera can try and supply the cross, but it's a bit of a shank and it's going to be out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, they're asking for a corner here, Avondale. It certainly looked like it took a deflection off the Heidelberg United defender. The goal kick, the decision.
They don't get the decision their way. Those subs for Heidelberg tonight on the bench, Bridget Murray, the sub-keeper, Alyssa Chechelowski, Abigail Winstanley, and there's a couple of players that haven't seen too much action so far, if any, in their NPLW season, including Sarah Asuma, who's just arrived, the American, with a bit of jet lag. She starts on the bench tonight. Also, Saffron Licuria, the 16-year-old, daughter of famous footballer Paul Licuria, and also Imogen West is on the bench tonight. And opportunity again for Avondale to try and create something over here on the far side through Young. Plays it across the face of the goal. It's again cleared away by that Heidelberg defence. And they're going to try and turn defence into attack here. Oh, that's a good challenge by Sydney Allen getting back to get stuck in there in the middle of the park. Sydney Allen, she's playing in that creative midfield role in the number 10, but it doesn't mean that she doesn't get involved in the tough tackling.
Another one of those first-year players at Avondale, of course, played some good football at Bentley last season. Been around the traps a long while, Sydney Allen. You mentioned that loss that Avondale suffered on the weekend, a shock loss to Spring Hills at home. There was a lot of goalmouth action in that match. They actually hit the bar 3 times in the first half, Avondale, so they would have limped off Avenger Park last Saturday afternoon wondering how on earth they didn't get a point, or at least maximum points anyway.
And especially conceding so late in the, was it the 87th minute when they went behind? On the defensive end here.
Interception in midfield there from Akiyama. Goad trying to get it back to Hannah Wilkinson, who has dropped mighty deep. There is Teodora Juric on the ball here, straight in towards midfield, and draws the foul on O'Donoghue, who ends up flat on her like a pancake. He's been at Heidelberg United since the under-14s. Juric, she did leave last season to play 1 year at Brunswick Juve and then returned to Heidelberg this season, and now is gone again. How long is that transfer window open for mid-season, Steve? 2 weeks? A bit longer than that? Who knows?
So we're just in discussions here with Avondale's coaching staff. They're hoping that we can zoom out on the stream. Well, we're not a VO cam here, so we'll Magnus behind the camera is giving you a great look at home, and we hope you are enjoying this and keeping warm wherever you are tonight, enjoying the Nike FC Cup, Female Football Week last week, celebrated by Football Victoria. We saw an initiative involving Nike happening at Bundoora last night, targeting skill acquisition for girls in that 12 to 13-year-old range. So a lot of good initiatives happening Female Football Week last week, and some great action tonight in the Nike FC Cup.
Nice crowd building here as well for some Tuesday night Cup football. As that ball has gone behind, and we will have our first corner kick of the match.
I'm not too sure what the Avondale coaching staff are hoping for, Brent, whether they're hoping for full field surveillance style footage here, but we're giving you the TV broadcast style footage here. Great work by Magnus behind the camera tonight as Heidelberg prepare to swing in this corner. It'll be slightly into the breeze. It was very still on our arrival here, but the wind has got up just a little bit of a zephyr about it now as driven into that area. Oh, Bennett came. It's bouncing around in the 6-yard box. Claridge was in there trying to get the clearance, and it's adjudged to have come off a yellow shirt last, so Bennett can trudge over and grab the ball and get ready to restart with a goal kick. So end-to-end stuff early in this one. No one really controlling the balance of play, I'd have to say, Brent.
No, that's right. We have had half opportunities up either end. Brooke Bennett, who saved a penalty on the weekend, denying Spring Hill's captain Alexandra Sinclair. Wonder if those skills might be required later tonight. Of course, the prospects potentially of 120 minutes and penalties if need be.
It was a long night for you last week on Nike FC Cup duties, Brent, out at Fraser Rise, going the distance, and the winner of tonight's match will play against Caroline Springs George Cross as well, who you had a close look at that night.
Yes, and that will not be an easy away trip for the winner this evening. I just wonder if we've got any Georgie spies potentially in the house tonight.
There's always a few Georgie spies around, Brent, we know that.
After they learnt their fate last night in the draw for the 5th round of the Nike FC Cup, or the round of 16, for those that prefer the new age terminology. Picked up by Kerwood Wagner in midfield here for Heidelberg United, trying to assert their dominance here as we have played 13 and a bit minutes. BD Goad wide for Barrero, South African born. Wilkinson, New Zealand born. Goad, Melbourne born. Back for Barrero. Eventually the golden shirts close in. Heidelberg United pounce on the error. O'Donoghue, shoulder to shoulder with BD Goad, and a little bit too overzealous. O'Donoghue, good to see her coming back to Heidelberg United. She's playing for Perth Glory in the A-League Women's this season, and indeed the season before. Always love when the players continue to come back for the same club. I love that.
Loyalty, it's alive.
Who would have thought?
It is alive. She had some time over at the Brisbane Roar as well before that, but yeah, the club where she made her name. As this ball's played across the face and it's over the bar. Good chance presented there to Sloane Young. It just sat up nicely for her. Took it on the left peg. Couldn't wrap the foot over the top of it. Good crowd building here over on the far side as well, Brent. A lot of youngsters who've been here for their Tuesday night training sessions with the Magic, and they've decided to hang around and make sure that they're all rugged up. There's a bit of training going on behind us as well, a couple of the boys' age groups, so it's a hive of activity. Paisley Park, Altona, East Phoenix over on the other side of that pavilion in the distance as well. Saw in the Doherty Cup there was 2 matches happening at the same time, either side of the pavilion there, with Altona, East Phoenix, the other club that operates out of the eastern side of this venue. We're here on the Magic side tonight as Kerwood Wagner's on the ball. She's going to play it back to her teammate, but they lose it out here. Young plays it forward, trying to link up with Hannah Wilkinson. It's an easy pick-up in the end for Mia Bailey, who's just demanding her players to split into those wide areas, and she does distribute it out wide to Plant. Heidelberg trying to turn the screws a little bit here, but they're just pinned back in their own half. It's a touch for Janet Saris in the captain's armband. Heidelberg back in possession now, looking across the halfway line. It's a long bomb. Ferrero should get there first. Could be an awkward one, though. Kerwood Wagner is lurking. And getting back to help out. And doing really well there in the end was Accardo, throwing the step-overs and the fakes as well. Love that flair in a central defender, Brent.
Yeah, Barrero, I think she was really hoping that the goalkeeper would come and lend a hand there. The ball had gone into the 18-yard box, so it was there for the taking, and Bennett was just caught as a spectator.
She decided to stay at home. Look at Young here, trying to take on Plant. Good body work by Plant, just to nudge her out of the way, but kept her possession of the football. Sydney Allen distributes it out wide to Claridge, the right back, getting forward to support the attack. Good punch, Bailey. Young, back to goal. Gets it out to Claridge. First ball in. Falls to Goad. Can she get space for the shot? Forces a good save out of Bailey. First shot on target of the evening from BD Goad. Saved by Bailey. And the second comes in from Claridge. The right back had stayed forward. So some bright moments for the Avengers at their home away from home. O'Donoghue's ball. Picks out her teammate in Agiyama. Offside is the decision. Bennett was coming to claim that time.
It's been a pretty open start, hasn't it? Plenty of space in behind for both sets of attackers. Looking ominous early. Kerwood Wagner for Heidelberg United, Sloane Young and Wilkinson for Avondale. Mia Bailey, who made that save a moment ago, she's become a goal scorer in recent weeks. Scored one of the 9 that the Burgers put past Melbourne City, and actually stepped up to take another spot kick last week against Bentley, but had that spot kick saved by the Greens goalkeeper.
Brave coaching for that one, Brent, when they were leading 2-1 at the time, sending your keeper up to take the spot kick.
And it was saved and come back into the field of play, and Bailey had to make a mad scramble back to the defensive goal mouth. Goad and Wilkinson combining as well. Goad trying to slash right up the middle. Plays it in behind for Wilkinson, who will strike from distance. And Mia Bailey's watching that one drift past the far uprights. And another good opportunity for the home side tonight comes and goes. We remain locked at 0-0.
Well, those are the sorts of situations that Heidelberg need to be really alert to. Wilkinson loves those chances to run in behind. Saw her get in behind the Bentley Greens defence a multitude of times in their match at Adventure Park a few weeks ago. Allowing too much space in behind that central defensive duo will be risky. That's for sure, with the former New Zealand international out there for Avondale. Such a great asset to have at this level as Janet Saras plays it out to Claridge, out near the players' race. Plenty of space in front of her. It's a clever ball inside. Oh, it's turned over, though, awkwardly. A chance for King. And it breaks for Razumich, who went for the shot on-site policy. Brooke Bennett got everything behind it, though. So the first genuine attempt on target for the Burgers. So 2 shots on for Avondale and 1 for the Burgers now. A couple of nervous moments for Bennett when she's had to come out, though, with Kerwood Wagner lurking. She's an interesting player, Kerwood Wagner. Plays in that wide area. Looks like more like a central striker in her build and a positioning, but it's an awkward matchup for a left back like Cameron Barrero to line up on. Getting forward here is Plant, down past the Altona President's Room. Get some good purchase on the cross too.
Good work here from Beattie Goad. In behind again for Wilkinson. Those two link up again. Wild's challenge has to be perfect. And it was pretty close to perfect, but it does concede a corner kick. The Avengers will set up here from the set piece. Just on Ruby King, she come off the bench. It was her first appearance in the seniors of the season last week, and I thought she was terrific. Really helped swing the game back the way of the Burgers. Didn't score either of the 2 goals, but was involved in both of them. Sydney Allen meanders over to take this set piece for Avondale. 20 minutes gone here in this round 4 Nike FC Cup clash between the 2 top division sides. Sydney Allen in towards the 6-yard box. Brought down nicely by Wilkinson. Recycles back out for Sydney Allen. Back into the dangerous area, headed away by Bidwell. Akiyama trying to play it for Bidwell, but Sydney Allen was in the road. Blocked by Kerwood Wagner. Half-hearted shouts for a handball. Kerwood Wagner, who started last season with Heidelberg United. Great ball in from Barrero. Miata brought down in the 18-yard box. Penalty, Avondale. What say you, Steve Curtin?
Oh, big decision there to make for Angeli Mangion, and it was one of those challenges that it's probably pretty avoidable, isn't it, Brennan? Gave her the decision to make. Was there any ball in that? Went through the back of the opponent.
So Rosie Wild, the guilty party.
It's a really intelligent run that made it all happen from Miata. Clever ball from Barrero as well, over the top. But she was going away from the goal. The challenge probably didn't need to come in as aggressively as that. And I think, for me, that's the right call there to award the spot kick. And give Avondale the chance to draw first blood here at the golf course end at the of the venue. Bailey out there to try and use some distraction tactics. It's a muddy old goalmouth in there she's got to line up on, so it's going to be hard to get some traction.
So it is going to be Cameron Barrero stare down the Burger goalkeeper, Mia Bailey. Former Heidelberg United player is yet to score wearing the Avondale shirt. Great opportunity for the Avengers to snatch the lead in the cup, and they do. Cameron Barrero leaves Mia Bailey rooted to the spot. A nice love heart signal to the camera, and Avondale lead in the Nike FC Cup fixture here in the 23rd minute. Cameron Barrero's first goal in Avondale blue, and it's Avondale 1, Heidelberg United 0.
Well, some people feel nervous watching left-footed penalty takers, but there's no need to feel any kind of nerves when Barrero takes penalty kicks as well as that. Just picked her spot, waited for the goalkeeper to commit herself, and it was a clever finish off the instep. Mia Bailey committing herself to her right. Barrero going the other way, and we've got a 1-0 game here in the Nike FC Cup. Advantage to the home side, the Avengers here at Altona. Oh, look at that clever bit of skill there from Akiyama. Out wide left. King is the target. It might sit here for King. It's away by Janet Cyrus. Only as far as O'Donoghue. Solid challenge. Wilkinson playing back to goal and fighting hard for it with Wild from an awfully long way out. O'Donoghue gave it a smack, but never go into trouble. Brooke Bennett from there. Sloane Young on the charge over the halfway line. Clever ball out in front of Wilkinson. Oh, well out of her goal there. To make the clearance was Mia Bailey. So Avondale, probably good value for that goal. They've probably just edged it in this first half, and the chance coming from the spot. Barrero tucking it away after Miata was fouled. They're looking to make it a second in quick time here as well.
Oh, brilliant.
A crucial challenge there to clear away the danger. Kerwood Wagner. O'Donoghue. It bounces awkwardly there for Durich to try and control it. Well kept in by Goad, right in front of Dale Donnelly's technical area. Durich, the former Burger, on her Avondale debut against the Burgers. Good touch by Goad inside Sydney Allen. So Avondale enjoying a little bit of possession here as they lead this one by 1-0. Trying to bait these Heidelberg players to step out of their defensive shape. That 4-3-3 or the 4-4-2 out of possession. Bennett's going to try and put this one on the club room's roof, which she succeeds in doing. To send the ball kid up there with the ladder, Brent, to fetch that one.
No, you're not suggesting I do it, Steve. I'm not the ball kid.
I think last time we were working together, we were acting as ball kids at Jack Edwards in that empty grandstand, but tonight we won't be going to fetch too many footballs here next to the brand new illuminating scoreboard to our right, which reads Avondale 1, Burgers 0 at the moment. Substitutes for both sides going around and doing some warm-ups. They've got those thick padded jackets on, and you're going to need them tonight here at Altona. It's definitely a chilly one, down to 13 degrees, but feels like is sitting on 12 with the cool breeze that is coming from the southwest. So we're still waiting on this resumption here, Brent, are we? Plant over there with the ball near the players' race. We're going to get going again.
I think Manjon, our referee, was just letting Nali Plant tie her bootlace up. That was the reason for that little stoppage there. There's a foul here, won by the Heidelberg United player. Eve Tiktakakis, I think, out there.
That's her in the number 5 jersey.
Yeah, we were told she was going to be in number 4. Well, she's been promoted slightly. Or is that demoted?
I don't know.
Okay. A chance here for Heidelberg United, going in search of an equaliser. Payson's set piece doesn't quite reach the yellow shirts in the 18-yard box. Defensive header by Janet Saris. Goats, curling ball. Wilkinson's just not quite going to get there, and it's played onto the pitch behind us by Annalie Bidwell. That incidentally was Avondale's first penalty of the season, scored by this lady here, Cameron Barrero. Started every game last season for Heidelberg United, including the grand final, which they lost, of course, to Box Hill United. That ball's going to contour the touchline on this near side. Rosie Wild has to retrieve it. Leah Bailey gets right underneath the clearance. Oh, beautifully controlled by O'Donoghue, who can send Akiyama on her way forward. Kerwood Wagner for Heidelberg United. Good build-up play here. Kerwood Wagner lofts it into the 18-yard box. Razumich arrives underneath the tipping football, but wasn't able to work the angles and get that header on target. But a promising sequence there for the Warriors.
Yeah, that'll encourage the Burgers there. They have a bit of a flat spot in this first half. You can hear Dennis Georgikopoulos. Sounds like he's got a little bit of encouragement out of that previous phase of play. It is a younger squad than what they fielded in other matches so far this season. There's big outs, Jiyun Seo in particular. So Sasaki not there in midfield as well. So a couple of big losses there. As they play the ball forward here to Avondale, looking for Sloane Young. She's going to keep it in well here. Tries to turn, but turns straight into trouble in the shape of Rosie Wild. Clearance up the line, and there's a nice claim there for Dennis Georgikopoulos. Kerwood Wagner. Wild. Back to Bailey. She can switch the play here. Well played by Gorkin Janitsaris, the Avengers captain. Just does what you needed to do, the central defender, and gets it out of play. So, some brighter moments for the Burgers here. Razumich unable to keep that one in play. The Burgers will have the breeze predominantly behind their backs in the second 45. Almost half an hour gone in this one, and it's Avondale who are closest to punching their ticket into the round of 16 of the Nike FC Cup for this season. Avondale, though, would have been so disappointed going down to Spring Hills on their home patch at Avenger Park on Saturday afternoon, and a win tonight to progress into the next round of the Cup competition. The round of 16 would be just what the doctor ordered to boost their confidence leading into the second half of the Chenol NPLW season. Plant taking her time to get this throw back into play. King was the target. Plenty of blue shirts there crowding out the Burgers as they try and create something on this far side. Again, Plant's throw. Razumich is getting involved. That's a good touch. And keeps going, does Razumich, across the face of goal. Bennett comes out and times her run to claim that one perfectly. At full stretch. Got that left paw out on top of the ball. Trying to turn defence into attack, but look at Kerwood Wagner getting back there to do some defensive work. The right winger. Smashed forward by Bailey. Good attack on the football by the goal scorer Barrero. Got an awkward bounce. It's a bit messy out there in the centre circle. Janet Cyrus, with all of her experience, tries to calm things down. Claridge got a bad bounce there. Opens the door for Razumich. She likes to shoot from distance. We've already seen that tonight. That one's off target, though, as we see the substitutes for the Burgers warming up there in pitch down at the southern end of the venue.
The 16-year-old Irina Razumich, she was playing her football at the FV Academy last year and then went to South Melbourne.
I like her instinctiveness. She's not afraid to take the game on. That sort of shoot-on-sight policy could be the difference tonight could be something that can get the Burgers back into the game as Goad looks to flick this on and does well for Wilkinson. Cuts back onto a dangerous right foot. Plenty of Burgers players back to clear away the danger. O'Donoghue attacked it, but Barrero came through like a steam train and plays it into the box. And that'll do for the Burgers as it's smashed out of play by Maya Hayson. The 27-year-old central defender, plenty of experience on her part in that central defensive duo between her and the New Zealander Rosie Wild, the 28-year-old. But it's a defence that has already been breached once tonight, undone by the brilliance of Miata, who won the spot kick and was tucked away by Barrero. O'Donoghue, that's a clever touch. But they lose possession here again. Sydney Allen with the chance. Was looking for Goad, but it was a good interception. You can see all four Heidelberg Heidelberg defenders, including the fullbacks, coming in narrow to double up and close down those opportunities for the dangerous Avondale forwards to play through. That's a clever ball for Sydney Allen. But again, it's good positioning this time from Mia Hayson to get back there in the gloves to keep the fingers warm. Good idea to wear the gloves. I'm only put mine on at half-time, Brent, but Avondale are still coming here in waves of attacks. Sloane Young goes to ground. No foul that time. Coming away with the ball was Plant. Here's a chance for Tiktakakis. Goes to ground. No whistle from Angie Mangion, the referee. Claridge's ball forward this time. Look at this play from Sloane Young. Back to goal. Creates the opportunity for Beatty Goad. Wilkinson's free in the middle at the top of the box. Hits the first time shot. Hit it straight against the body of Rosie Wild. So Avondale are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the moment at this Heidelberg defence. And the shot from Sydney Allen from an awfully long way out. Wasn't too far away there, Brent.
No, she's another player that likes to shoot from distance, Sydney Allen. That one just going a little high and a little wide, but certainly feels like the Avengers are well on top now. Only one goal to the good. She's only scored one goal so far this season, Sydney Allen.
Yeah, she's down from her average, I think 5 last season at a previous club, the Bentley Greens.
Akiyami carrying it forward. O'Donoghue's first time touch. Concedes possession to Theodora Juric. Those two played alongside one another in midfield on the weekend. Miata. It's Isabella Accardo. She joined from Bulleen in the off-season. That's a nice long ball for Barrero, who's going to have to dink this one in first time. Wilkinson is onside. Sloane Young at the back post arrives. And just the awkward bounce a couple of yards in front of her. And the American winger who came rifling in, not able to get a decisive touch on that one. Avondale, for all of their toiling there, will have just a throw in.
What a great build-up for Avondale that was, Brent. Down the left-hand side. Good run by Young to the back post. Wilkinson picked her out. It somehow just went straight through to the keeper. She couldn't get a touch on it.
She has been amongst the goals this season. 8 goals and 3 assists. And Sloane Young, a part of the American invasion, Florida International University.
Yeah, I believe they're called the Owls.
That's probably one of the more tamer American names of universities.
I wonder if there's any owls watching on over here in the gum trees to the right of screen, perhaps tuning into this one.
10 minutes to play in this first half. Avondale 1, Heidelberg United 0. Goal from the penalty spot in the 23rd minute, scored by Cameron Barrero. They did make it to the round of 16 last season, Avondale, losing to eventual champions South Melbourne, and as mentioned, Heidelberg United finalists last year. They've only won this competition once, the Burgers. As Avondale are piecing together a nice little sequence here. Young dinking one in. Couldn't quite find the angle there for Wilkinson, and Mia Bailey races out to the perimeter of the 18-yard box to claim.
So can Heidelberg try and manufacture something and get themselves back into this one with the goal before half-time? It's been all Avondale in the last 5 or so minutes as Beatty Goad tries to open up that Heidelberg defence. Sloane Young, the right winger, has drifted across to the left-hand side. So Avondale maybe trying to double-team this left-hand side. Here's a chance for Theo Juric. Goad Good run from Barrero, intelligent, hooks it across the face. But unfortunately for the Avengers, all of their right-sided players were over trying to create overloads on the left. There was no one there to get to the back post, Brent.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Barrero knew that was coming to pass. I think she expected a run into the back post there. No one there in a blue shirt. But once again, really lovely, intricate play in and around the Heidelberg United defenders. I think they would love to be able to try and get a second goal here, Avondale, because they're certainly on top as we head for half-time. It's going to be a throw-in on this far side, adjacent to the 18-yard area for the Avengers.
You look at the attacking patterns of play from Avondale that we've seen tonight and other times during the season. It's surprising that they do sit in ninth place in the NPLW with just the 19 points. That they play like they could be a top 6, top 4 side, and they may well be. We're only halfway through the season in the league, but look, I wouldn't be surprised if they can go on a run and start shooting up the table with good goal scorers, experienced defenders, and good players in midfield.
Well, that's the point from earlier. I mean, you look at the squad that they've assembled and the quality that they have, particularly in the front third. They've scored 24 goals in the league this season, which is eighth from the 14 teams. You know, to the halfway mark of the season with all of the players that they have. Wilkinson and Young and Goad and Allen from midfield. You would have thought that they would be among the league's highest scorers.
It's really been those two. They're duking it out for the club top scorer with 8 each, and then aside from them, Miata has 3 from midfield as well, but otherwise it's just 1s and 2s for a couple of other players. You think Sydney Allen, Beatty Goad might have maybe contributed a bit more heavily on the scoreboard, but they've been creative and creating a lot of those opportunities for the 2 forwards that are sitting on the 8 goals in both Wilkinson and Young.
And their form has been a touch wonky. I mean, we spoke about the disappointing loss on the weekend to Spring Hills. Prior to that, remember, they beat Box Hill United, who were on top of the table at home. So a little bit hot and cold at times this season, the Avengers.
Well, they could be one of those sides that when it comes to, finals time, and, they're not going to win the Premier's Plate, it's probably fair to say, but if they can hit form at the right time, they could be hard to beat, but they're defending here again. Kerwood Wagner's shot, it's going to deflect off 1 or 2 players and not taking any chances. Brooke Bennett pouncing on the loose ball in the penalty area. She's had to lower herself down to the grass a few times tonight to repel some opportunities that the Burgers have been scrapping at in the box. That was yet another one of those opportunities. Here's O'Donoghue trying to imprint herself on this game with her A-League women's experience, but she goes to ground and there's no whistle, and Sydney Allen can keep playing here. It's a defensive header by Hayson. Opportunity for Akiyama. Razumich, who's been one of their promising and brighter lights in this match so far, off the left wing, has Razumich. A couple of attempts from distance, and you just feel this is the kind of game where we might see the ball fly in from long range. This is Tiktikaris, puts it out in front of Razumich, who's got some space. Again, hits it first time.
Oh!
And there's the goal for Razumich as well. We're back to 1-1 at Paisley Park. That's a little bit against the run of play, you have to say, but that's the quality that we've seen tonight so far from Irina Razumich. Taking on the shot. Good combination down that left-hand side with Tiktikaris, the player who's come back into the squad, returning to Olympic Village. Tiktikaris playing a key role, putting it out in front and said, there you go. Put your foot through that one. But the placement was sensational, Brent.
And the confidence to take this first time. That is a stunning strike. Oh, wow, just having a look.
Not many players are doing that, taking that one first time. The technique is absolutely right out of the top drawer there. We're back to 1-1. What a game we're seeing here.
Well, we were just singing her praises as well, and then she pulls out a top drawer effort like that. Her second goal of the season. And Brooke Bennett, the Avondale goalkeeper, no chance. So parity restored right when Avondale felt like they had relative control of the match. 5 minutes before half-time, Sydney Allen chips it in behind. Wilkinson is onside. Again, not a lot of support. Doubles back on the right and then fires it into the side netting. And no harm, no foul there as far as the Burgers are concerned. But, boy, she's getting herself into some very dangerous areas, Hannah Wilkinson. Some of those passes in behind, mostly from Sydney Allen, really pulling apart this Heidelberg United back four.
Yeah, well, she knows how to make those runs, how to time those runs. Just didn't quite get the execution there, Hannah Wilkinson. You expect her to, a player of her quality. That would have been a very handy and quick reply for the Avengers had that one flown in. Good work by Claridge to get back, and it was clipped as she played the ball back to Janet Cyrus, so she can take her time getting back up here to take the free kick. In fact, the train is going to be called out here, so we're going to see a slight delay in play. Hopefully there's nothing too major here for Isaiah Claridge, the right back for the Avengers. She's getting back up to her feet slowly, which is got a little bit of concern, as has her teammates at the moment, as Avondale's subs in the tracksuit pants, which is a good call tonight, are all off to warm up.
I was just going to mention, it may just be a knock here for Aisha Claridge, but these are the sorts of nights where knocks seem to hurt a bit more.
Yeah, the bones would be aching if you copped a stray couple of studs across the ankle tonight.
It's the kind of night where when you come to the sideline to grab a drink, you want to be grabbing maybe like a cup of Dilmar or something, and not the cold water that's been in the esky.
Half-time's coming up, Brent. Yeah. We might have to see if we can
get some chicken soup,
fetch something from
chicken and noodles
from inside the excellent canteen that they have here at Paisley Park. Here's Barrero, the goal scorer. She's forced to go back, but finds a way to play forward again. All the skills on show. Jurich's ball is intercepted. Heidelberg are going to try and play the ball out in front of King here. Going to ground and getting back up on her feet again was Ocado. Miata gets it forward. It's a good touch, Wilkinson. It's being pressured closely by Rosie Wild, who was wearing her like a glove. Here's Young. Wilkinson in the shadows of half-time here. Well played by Allen. Can't really see any options out wide right. Sloane Young had drifted inboard, so there was no one out on that right-hand touchline. Look at Miata with the skills there, but she's shown too much of the football. The whistle's gone anyway. It was picked up quickly by Akiyama, but the whistle had already gone for an Avondale free kick. Isaiah Claridge is still making her way, so Avondale are still down to 10 for the moment, Brett. Are we going to see a change just before half-time? You'd think it would be preferential for Dale Donnelly and the coaching staff that they can just ride it out and make a change at half-time if needed. There's no fourth official tonight to submit the paperwork to if there is a change coming. Wilkinson out wide right. Akiyama getting back on the ball. Plant shows a yard of pace here and puts it out in front of the goal scorer Razumich, and getting across was Ocado to make the no-nonsense clearance.
I think Claridge's night might be done, Steve.
She doesn't look too happy. It's a lot of strapping on the left thigh as well, so I'm not sure if there's a muscle injury that she's carried into this game too.
They are going to make a change, are they? Oh no, they're signalling for another football.
Well, they're just happy to keep going with 10 for the moment. I think they're just going to play it out till half-time here, Brent.
And there is some paperwork being done.
Oh, there is, okay.
So I don't think they want to...
He wanted to submit it to the fourth official, but then he saw there was no one there.
He was almost going to give it to his opposite manager. Derek Donnelly, the Avondale coach. Here's Sydney Allen. This game beautifully poised. And a turnover here. Ruby King pounces. Trying to thread it through. O'Donoghue with her back to goal. Looking to try and tee someone up. Oh, well done. Thick the carcass. Brought it down. Shot blocked. Akiyama. This one falls kindly for Kerwood Wagner. Rifles it back into the mix. It clanks around. And then it's turned off the goal line. Is it? No, it's in. Heidelberg United forced their way in front in the flickering embers of the first half. It's anyone's guess as to who got the last touch there. It was the goal line clearance from Avondale.
Yeah, Janet Cyrus looked like she'd saved the day initially, but the ball, the clearance, it had that backspin on it and it went straight up in the air.
And the strike came from Akiyama.
It was a powerful one too from Akiyama.
All sorts of goings on in the 18-yard box. They just couldn't clear the ball to safety, Avondale, and Heidelberg United, who went behind after 23 minutes, look like they will have the lead to protect at half-time.
Well, they've taken full advantage of an Avondale side that only had 10 players on the park. I think no one got a touch. I think the deflection, the block had so much backspin on it and went up. It bounced in the 6-yard box. It was a real leg break as it span back in, or an off break. I'm not sure if it was an offie or a leggy, but it had that much spin on it. It span back into the net.
So we'll give that one to Minori Akiyama, the powerful shot. And in the midst of all of that, they have made that substitution. Avondale, Alana Boges has replaced Asia Claridge.
Yeah, so Avondale punished for being down to 10 for so long. And that sub coming too little too late as they were just trying to hold off until half-time, and they couldn't. And for all of their attacking dominance through large portions of that first 45, Avondale go into the dressing rooms with a 1-goal deficit, trailing this one 2-1. Both of the goals for Heidelberg coming in the last 5 minutes. A wonder strike from Erasimic to cancel out that opening goal, the spot kick from Barrero. And then it was that one that was blocked initially by Janet Cyrus on the goal line. The shot that come flying in from Akiyama with a lot of power and pace on it. And what are we thinking? We're going to give Akiyama the goal and call that 2-1 at half time. Well, it's the first half. It's anything to go by, Brent. We're in for a very exciting but cold second 45.
So 3 goals in the first half is absolutely looks like a match that has some more goals in it. We might have to do a bit of investigating at half-time while we're throwing down the chicken and noodle soup and try and work out who we want to give that second goal to. But it is the goal that separates these two teams at the break.
Well, we'll take a short intermission here. We might have to go and check out either the over 35s training behind us. Maybe we can see if we've still got it, or we might have to go and check out if there's any kavapi rolls available out of the canteen. I think there might be, and they will be warm and tasty. We'll be back for the second 45 of this Nike FC Cup match between Avondale and Heidelberg, where Heidelberg have finished the first 45 with a flurry, and they lead this one at half-time by 2-1. Back underway for the second 45 of this Nike FC Cup game here at Paisley Park, and it was the Burgers who come racing back into it late in that first half, scoring in the 40th minute, and then again just on the stroke of half-time to go into the dressing rooms with a 2-1 lead. Barrero would open the scoring from the spot to get things going, and well, the Burgers are going to have a bit of confidence from that after they did a lot of the defensive work through the mid part of that first half. Thanks for your company on the Football Victoria live stream tonight of this Nike FC Cup game here in round 4 of the competition. It is the round where the NPLW sides step into proceedings, and these sides duking it out for a chance to take on Caroline Springs George Cross, as the draw has already taken place for the next round last night for the round of 16. Looking forward to seeing who can progress and try and make all the way to the final of the competition here, as Plant is motoring forward. Razumich likes playing these balls in first time, and it's well away that time by Accardo. So saying thanks for your company. My name's Steve Curtin, and it's my pleasure to welcome back into the gantry for the second 45, Mr. Brent Sternberg.
Thank you, Steve. Come up empty-handed at halftime from the canteen, which is bitterly disappointing, but we'll head over there after the match and get amongst it. Just to clarify, no changes to the two sides to begin this second half. Of course, Avondale were forced into one change very late in the opening 45. Asia Claridge coming off with an injury and replaced by Alana Bodgers. As BD Goad is marauding forward here, taken away well there by Rosie Wild. And that second goal that Heidelberg United scored in the second minute of stoppage time was scored while the Avengers were playing with 10 players. So goals in the last 5 minutes of that half to snatch the lead. It was a 23rd minute goal from this lady here, Barrero, from the spot, that gave Avondale the lead. It was then a wonder strike really from Irina Razumich in the 40th minute to restore parity, as they like to say, and then we'll give it the second goal to the Heidelberg United midfielder Minori Akiyama. It was a great attempt from Janitsaris, a clearance on the goal line that just didn't do enough. She was done in by the backspin, ended up in the back of the net. Just about the last kick of the first half gave Heidelberg United the lead, as Nelly Plant lofts this one forward. Janitsaris again here, able to keep her composure. Back for Brooke Bennett. Of course, both these goalkeepers can forget about keeping a clean sheet tonight. Barrero, just as we were saying late in that first half that Avondale would have loved a second goal. How quickly things can change in football. Goad receiving from Wilkinson. Those two combined beautifully in the first half. Towards the 18-yard box. Oh, Hasten. Awkward for her. And they're not taking any chances or prisoners. Plays the ball out of touch, and Barrero will have this throw in adjacent to the 18-yard box. Avondale attacking the train line end in this second half, Steve.
It was a good recovery from Hasten too. It bounced awkwardly in front of her, and she had to respond and get that one out of play. So Burgers trying to clear the danger here through Chiktakaris. Found King, who initially looked like she was making an excellent turn, but lost her footing on that heavy track out there. Well, this one evades a couple, but not Plant, who makes the clearance up towards Razumich. Clever little touch by the teenager, and links up well with her midfield compatriot in Akiyama, but they've lost possession here. Bodgers the substitute. Out wide as Goad. Running at her opponent. Fires the shot. It took a touch off Annalie Bidwell, and it's going to be an Avengers corner here the southern end of the venue. So Avondale coming out of the dressing rooms and trying to come out with a full head of steam as well. They've made a slight positional change as well with the substitute Bodgers coming on for the right back Claridge. She's pushed further up the park, which means that Theo Juric has dropped into the full back position, as that one almost beat everyone at the near post, but it's held up in the wind a little bit or off the deck, and it went into the side netting and went behind for a goal kick.
That was their third or fourth corner kick of the night, Avondale, and that really was the first one that amounted to even a half chance. We do suspect that there will be more goals in their second half. Avondale would have felt like they shortchanged themselves with just the one in the first 45. They certainly had, at least to the eye, most of the forays forward. As avocado. Oh, goodness gracious me. Here's Akiyami, Heidelberg United racing forward. The impressive Razumich trying to get past her former teammate, and she does in Jurich. The cut back. Akiyami trying to lay it off for Ruby King, but never got it there, and Sydney Allen is able to clear. Sloane Young unable to keep the ball alive. Well, Heidelberg United have not lost this season when leading at half-time. They've only been in front at the break 4 times from their 13 league games, but they were able to go on and win 3 times, drawing once. Nelly Plant here with the throw-in, headed on by Kakis. Janet Saracen, King. King got the last touch there, so it'll be an easy one for Brooke Bennett to take this goal kick. As Steve mentioned, George Cross will be the destination for the winner. And that won't be an easy away trip at all. The team currently playing in State League 1 Northwest, and they were impressive in their win on penalties over Ringwood City. O'Donoghue, too much on it for King, and back for Brooke Bennett. And we'll start again.
One of the other key things we've noticed for Avondale since half-time is that Sydney Allen, who played as the attacking midfielder in the first half, she's dropped into play as a more defensive midfielder, sitting in that deep-lying position to allow Bodgers, the substitute, to play as the attacking mid. So there's a couple of positional changes there by that forced substitution of Azia Claridge, who was taken off injured. So Avondale probably finding themselves feeling a bit unlucky that they conceded while they were down to 10, but Heidelberg taking full advantage of that opportunity, and they sit in pole position here in this Cup contest. There can only be one winner, and only one can advance tonight. Here's Plant striding over the halfway line. A little bit too much on the touch, and hit it up to a former teammate there in Jurich. Janet Saris, who almost made the clearance for that second Heidelberg goal, was unable to keep it out. Good little combination here, and the substitute Bodgers can find Wilkinson, and Young was the target of the pass, but it was straight to Plant. Tiktikaris has got the opportunity here. She can't see a lot of yellow shirts ahead of her. King is there, but the passing lanes are closed. They open again, and she does find King with a clever first touch by the youngster on her senior starting debut for the Burgers. She's been lively up front. No doubt she would love to get her name on the score sheet tonight on her starting debut in the senior team. Barrero forced back, and it's a little bit of an awkward one here. Now Barrero can play forward. It's hit forward by Accardo. This is Goad. And now Sydney Allen in that deeper lying midfield position in this second half. Sloane Young trying to drag the ball over the halfway line. Jurich has found space in front of Del Donnelly in the Avondale technical area, and she can run at Plant here. Decides to go inside to Young. It's a little crowded in the middle in that central corridor there. Miata tries to find that little bit of space, but it's all too narrow for Avondale. Or is Wilkinson able to get onto this one? No. Bailey doing a job there and making sure that Wilkinson was not going to get in and get a touch on the ball, as Heidelberg did so much defending in this first half, and a shot from Sydney Allen from an awfully long way out. She can score from downtown. We've seen that from her before in league and cup football. That one into the breeze, just held up a little bit and drifted away from that top left corner. And a bad turnover there. Heidelberg, who seem to be asserting the dominance in this second half now. That scoreboard pressure that they've got on the Avengers starting to look a bit more telling, but they don't want to give away the ball in these sorts of areas. That's a better ball. Tiktikaris. So the Burgers, they're playing that game. They've got the game on their terms now with this 2-1 lead. They can control possession and try and drag out these Avengers out of their defensive shape. Wilkinson coming to give chase. Bailey decides to take no prisoners this time. Oh, it's a bit of a coming together in the centre of the park between O'Donoghue and Miata. Avondale win the throw, and Barrero can take.
Looking similar to the path that the first half took. Avondale probably shading the possession and certainly looking to play their way in and around Heidelberg United, whereas the Burgers looking to play with a bit more speed and a little bit more direct when they spring forward. And Avondale, number 4 in the league this season for average time spent in possession, just a tick under 56%. And Heidelberg United down there in 10th with 49%, so they are used to playing without the ball and taking their chances on the counter-attack, Heidelberg United, and that was how they scored their first goal, certainly. A beautiful strike from Irina Razumich. You'll be seeing that one on the highlights, no doubt, throughout the rest of the week. Barrero, Wilkinson, muscled off it by Wild. Goad, strong in possession. Wilkinson. Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City combining there. And through for Miata. Plays it across the 6-yard box. Sloane Young has been fouled. No, she hasn't.
Well, she's given away the foul.
Yeah,
there.
it's always a close run thing, isn't it? There generally you see 50-50 calls go the way of the goalkeeper, and it looks like Mia Bailey has come off worse for wear there, although both players have stayed down.
Yeah, good bravery from both players there, Brent, but hopefully Bailey's okay. It would have been a great finish if Young could have got that touch, just nipping it in front of the goalkeeper. You could see what she was trying to do there.
Both players had their rights to make a play at that ball, and just trying to go, I think, with the back heel, Sloane Young. And Mia Bailey committing herself there, just having a look on the replay.
Yeah, well played, Bailey. Really quick out off her line there. She didn't have far to go, but she reacted quickly. And from an Avondale point of view, again, it's Miata making those little runs into the channels there. That time combined with on the left-hand side, and then a good ball into the box as well to create the opportunity. Bailey doing well to deny Avondale an equaliser.
And that's a good little example, that moment there, of how brave you have to be as a goalkeeper. I mean, those the stops on the bottom of the boots that the players wear, they can do some serious damage, and you've got to throw yourself right into the firing line as Bailey did there.
Put her face right into the boot of Sloane Young, and the American going full gas to try and get on the end of the cross from Miata. So Bailey back up on her feet, and Sloane Young is making her way back onto the field now as well. So we are back 11 v 11. Here's Tiktakaris. Ball smashed forward by Rosie Wild. Barrero picks it up. Opportunity now. Kerwood Wagner.
I was just thinking to myself, she's been quiet, Kerwood Wagner, outside of that first 20 minutes or so.
10, 15. She had a couple of moments that had a few heart flutters for the Avondale defence, but sort of drifted out of the game a little bit. But it was down the other flank where Razumich was so dangerous with her contributions towards the attacking phases of play, and of course her wonderful goal. Be surprised if there's been a better goal scored in the Nike FC Cup so far this season.
Oh, Steve, I have to say, I think Elwyn Parbury might have something to say about that. She scored a beauty for Ringwood City, who have now been eliminated in the previous round against Knox City. Long-range effort. This is the great thing about having these games streamed now as well. If we have a great goal, you're able to see them on our YouTube channel, and obviously the FV media team will be cutting them up, and they'll go all around the place. Do you reckon Arena's phone will be blowing up when she gets back to her bag?
I think so.
After the match?
I think so. Here's Allen. Miata. Back to Ocado. Avondale enjoying a bit of possession and territorial advantage as they chase this game. Barrero unable to find a teammate. O'Donoghue just has so much time and space, composure when she's on the ball. And that experience at the A-League women's level. Boy just nipped in to get a touch, but couldn't find Wilkinson or anyone in a blue shirt ahead of her. Oh, here's Kerwood Wagner. Fouled that time. We Saw that one clear as day from up here, and Barrero, the guilty party. Easy decision for Angie Mangion there. Right in front of the canteen area over there, that was well, in front of the bar actually. It was the bar. The canteen was busiest at half time, that's for sure. The cold drinks not at a premium tonight, but the hot food was. It makes sense when it's down to around 12 degrees here at Altona North. Feels like 11. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And we should just say again, I know we mentioned it a couple of times in the first half as a goal kick here going the way of Avondale. A great crowd that has built up. I mean, this is a Tuesday night, midweek fixture. Neutral ground.
Yeah.
We've done really well. We kind of a bit annoyed that it's such a good crowd at half time because it cost us a nice bit of grub from the kiosk, but really impressed by the turnout, I should say, that we've had.
A lot of Avondale youngsters who've been out at training tonight, all carpooling, making their way here tonight to watch the senior team. So plenty of encouragement for Avondale, and they'll need it in this second half from some of their club mates who are watching on from the sidelines as they have to chase the game, a game that they thought they could have maybe been leading by a couple of goals at one point in the first half after Cameron Barrero, the former Berger, had opened the scoring from the penalty spot. Good touch by Tiktikaris. Here's King, strides through into the penalty area. King's ball across the face of the goal. It just needed a touch from Razumich, but it was a little bit too far out in front of Arena there, and she's dispossessed. Played forward towards Wilkinson, who couldn't lock it in. It was a good pass up to her from Durich. Well, that was a quality run, that ball, that run into the box by Ruby King in that last phase of play, and the card is out of the pocket here.
First yellow card of the night, going the way of BT Goad. Just on Ruby King, she's been playing mostly this season in the under-20s, and she's been in great goal-scoring form, 11 goals in 12 appearances in the under-20s. Also close to cracking open Heidelberg United's third goal there a moment ago.
Just looking back at the replay there, Brent, BT Goad booked for asking for a card for her opponent O'Donoghue. It's an act that is punishable by a yellow card, rather ironically.
So, Avondale 1, Heidelberg United 2. It's been a cagey-ish second half, certainly not as open and free-flowing as the first 45. No real obvious goal-mouth chances to tell you about in this second half, as there's a foul going against Guchan Janitsaris, the skipper for Avondale. And so still the Burgers sit on that one-goal lead, that Akiyami goal late in the first half. Sydney Allen picks it up in midfield for Avondale. Wilkinson makes the run. Allen goes in search of her. Not a great clearance there from Hayson. Plant comes into support. Takakis in midfield. Kerwood Wagner. O'Donoghue just drifting in and out of the game. In midfield for the Burgers. Into the final half an hour we are. Will this match be decided in the regulation 90? Do I have the stamina for another 120 minutes? Or potentially spot kicks. Burgers playing it around at the back. Maya Hayson. Allen and Tiktakakis won the day initially. They wanted a foul there, the Heidelberg United folk on the bench. Miata and Young. Positive build-up here. Young shoots from distance. Curling away from the goal mouth the whole time. And Mia Bailey not troubled.
Well, that's a couple of times we've seen Avondale shoot from those sorts of areas. Sydney Allen as well. And now Sloane Young. Both of those attempts just drifting to that left-hand side of the goal. That slight breeze taking them away. Might just want to move in a yard or two closer before they pull the trigger, Avondale. Try and build up and try and get towards the edge of the box. Now Mia Bailey can just try and take some time off the clock here. It's around 25 minutes to go in this one. Avondale need to find a goal from somewhere to keep themselves alive. Ball out in front of Bodgers. That's smashed out of play, not taking any prisoners there. Rosie Wild. Rosie Wild, the only Heidelberg player who's seen red this season. Not too many players have in the league. Look at Kerwood, Wagner go here, getting up a full head of steam. As was Sydney Allen, who got back and won the ball really well off her. It's out off Barrero, so right in front of that canteen area over on the far side. Heidelberg will have the throw. They're in not too much of a hurry to take this one, Heidelberg, just trying to control the tempo. Berger's subs are going through some of their final warm-ups before we see some of them introduced into the fray, and there's some exciting options on the bench tonight as well for Dennis Georgikopoulos. Cyrus, well played by her, but there wasn't too many blue shirts ahead of her, even though she's the central defender. Now here's the chance for Goad. Wilkinson is ahead of her, as is Young. And there's a fairly clever foul there to give away as far as the Burgers are concerned by Rosie Wild. No card issued. No further actions, no further conversations with the referee, Angie Mangion.
She remains a frustrated figure, BT Goad.
She's had a lot of the play, but this hasn't quite really been her night.
Attempted clearance there from Gnarly Plants. Tenacious. Fullback for Heidelberg United. O'Donoghue right up and down. Razumich fell for her. She was a bit surprised. Turned around and there it was. Good touch in there from Miata. Wilkinson trying to play in Sloane Young. Might have liked to get the pass a little bit more forward. And now here is Miata. Skips past the defender and not the second. Well done there, O'Donoghue, getting back to help out the Burgers' defence. And they might be able to turn defence into attack here. Long ball looking for Ruby King. Interception from Theodora Juric. Trying to get a little bit more urgency here, Avondale. Though a loose pass in midfield from Accardo. I was trying to say Accardo of Avondale earlier. That's why I accidentally said avocado. It's an easy mistake to make, isn't it, with the alliteration. Heidelberg United looking for potentially the knockout blow. Kerwood Wagner from distance. Oh, tipped over the bar brilliantly by Bennett. In fact, no, the linesperson on the far side said it hit the crossbar. Maybe an optical illusion. So not a great save by Brooke Bennett. No save needed. Goal kick, Avondale.
Oh, it looked like she'd got a touch, didn't it? We see that one again. Kerwood Wagner got a touch out of her feet, and then on the left.
And the manager, Georgikopoulos, cannot believe that they haven't got a corner kick there, the Burgers. And so can I.
Look for all money like that was tipped over the bar, maybe tipped on and over the bar, but nonetheless, Heidelberg are going to be coming forward anyway through King. Shoulder to shoulder with Barrero. Really impressive King on their first senior start. Starting up front. No CO in the team tonight. One of the two goal scorers from the weekend's league action. But she's really making a name for herself out there in that centre forward position is young Ruby King.
He's still going, Dennis Georgikopoulos, still asking the question why that wasn't a corner kick. I think we can just file that one away as just a referee error, because it certainly looked like that took some of the glove of Bennett.
Also took the save away from the stats for Bennett as well. Probably the best save that she's made for a little while too. It was an excellent save.
Another yellow card has been brandished there. That Wilkinson, I think, was the one in the book. Quick little show there from Angelique Mangione, our referee.
Just quickly out of the pocket and back in. Here comes Sloane Young. Running at Plant. Going to go around the outside. Plant's recovery is good, and she gives away the corner kick.
No.
Well, no corner.
Now both managers are peeved.
Well, Sloane Young is in disbelief.
Well, once again, that looked like it touched the defender last. Have a look on our Chenal replay. That's definitely a corner kick. Gnarly Plant getting the last touch there. Oh well, the Burgers readied themselves to make not one but two changes.
Looks like Imogen West is one of those players ready to go.
And Abigail Winstanley, I think, is the other one who will be injected into the fray. Just a little bit of confusion as to when they want to take it. Not now, says the referee. Let's keep going. Janet Saris. First time ball here for Goad. Wilkinson managed to stay on side. Still in search of this equaliser. Avondale. Goad. Barrero. Crosses right towards the goal mouth. It's come off the crossbar. And the clearance from Gnarly Plant. Avondale inches away.
Well, Bailey was nowhere near that one as it struck the woodwork. Wow.
Well, they know all about hitting the woodwork. As I mentioned, they hit it 3 times on the weekend in that loss to Spring Hills. Here they come again, Avondale. Barrero. Wilkinson brings it down on the turn. Fires over. Hannah Wilkinson, another great opportunity for her, comes and goes, and still Heidelberg United, their 1-goal lead is preserved.
She did all the hard work there, really, Wilkinson. So often we see that, getting the ball back to goal, turning, lining it up, and then just losing the defender as well. Just sat up a little bit higher than she was anticipating, perhaps.
I think she's maybe lucky that she was able to take that shot, because I think she might have used the hand in the build-up play there. Will it be long before we have the VAR in the Nike FC Cup, Steve?
Maybe if it's for the final.
Yeah.
Well, here's Wilkinson, a long way out still. And scrambled away by that Heidelberg defence. And they can stride forward over the halfway line here. Tiktikaris out, sets a task for Razumich, who keeps it in well. Juric and Razumich go to ground. Changes incoming here, the double change for the Burgers. So it looks like it's going to be Ruby King coming off. And it might be Plant as well. Gnarly Plant.
We've been led a merry dance with the Heidelberg United numbers, haven't we?
So it's Abigail Winstanley in the number 46. It's a little bit of your guess as good as mine. Who's wearing the number 4? See if we can work that out by a process of deduction here. We might have to go down and have a word with Sven Samuel down in the technical area and find out.
Play continues here. Avondale still poking and prodding, trying to find this equalising goal. Jurich carries it forward in between the gaps. Sloane Young wins the foot race. Winstanley is there, and they are asking for the ball. They thought that the ball had gone out of play, Avondale, for a corner, and it had. So Cameron Barrero wanders over. Avondale have another set piece from which to build. We are heading for the final quarter hour here at Paisley Park. Heidelberg United, who come from behind in the first half to take the lead with just about the final kick of the opening 45. Is this the moment Avondale restore parity? Barrero fires it in. Wilkinson can't turn it in. It bounces agonisingly past that far upright. And that is, outside of the penalty that Avondale scored, that is the best chance that the Avengers have had tonight.
Confirmation. Just having a chat with Sven Samuel down there. The number 4 is actually, in fact, that's Sarah Asuma, the American. So she's a quality prospect for this Burger side. She's has number 4 on her back, but don't be fooled. She can play as a striker. She gets the flick on there. just starting on the bench tonight. She's got a little bit of jet lag that she's overcoming, so just tasked with playing the shorter match minutes tonight before she might get some more game time coming into their weekend fixture. They don't get a lot of time as well because they're back in action on Friday night against Preston.
So we can understand that that's maybe why some of the numbers have been thrown around, because Asuma's only just joined the club very recently. She's an American who was playing in the top league in Austria earlier this season.
Offside here. Avondale not happy with the call, but that's the decision going against the Avengers as they just start looking at the clock. Only under 15 minutes of regulation time to go in this one. Look at that offside decision again. Beatty Goder on the far side, frustrated. She had such a busy first half, but she's had a frustrating second 45 from her point of view. Here's Bailey trying to just smash the ball upfield. There's a touch here for the American, and she does very well. Does Sarah Ashuma. Akiyama playing forward. Just stretching out the toes after that one, Akiyama. Yeah, still stretching out. Looks like a bit of cramp even on a cold night like this.
Just having a look at Nali Plant as well, who's been substituted out of the game. Getting some running maintenance on that left foot of hers. Doesn't look to be too distressed.
Yeah, a bit of a concern for the ankle, but she didn't limp off the field or anything. It seemed like a routine planned substitution. Oh, big challenge at Cardo. O'Donoghue went to ground. O'Donoghue stays on the ground, as does Accardo. Now they both bounce back up. Accardo, particularly O'Donoghue, saw the ball coming and she was back up in a flash. A lot of space here in the middle of Paisley Park for Sydney Allen. Oh, and the pass is a disappointing one from a player of her quality and abilities. Avondale are going to stay in possession. Jurich trying to take on her former teammate in Razumich. Gets the decision her way. Young, back to goal. Plays it out in front of Bodgers. It's well read by Mia Hasten in the gloves and out of play. Avondale get the throw down near the corner flag, and those substitutes that are warming up and trying to keep warm before they get the opportunity to come on for Avondale, who have only just made the one sub, which was a forced one, as Aya Claridge forced off for Alana Bodgers just before half-time. Good first touch by Allen. Miyata, she's trying to find Goad. Now she finds Wilson on the second attempt. Goad showing a little bit too much of the ball to Tiktikaris, but manages to come away with it anyway. Barrero in space out near the players' race. Wilkinson is there. On the overlap. Going to ground. Was Barrero appealing for a corner.
Wow,
Gets the corner.
Heidelberg
players don't like it.
Wow, we've had some contentious calls in this second half in terms of corner kicks, either given or not given. It's going to afford Avondale with another chance from the set piece. Their last corner was a great opportunity for Wilkinson that she just flicked wide of the far post.
So it's Sydney Allen to deliver the corner kick. A good ball is needed here. Wilkinson was the target. Bailey was out well to fist that one away. Up the field by Annabelle Bidwell. Annabelle Bidwell, the Tasmanian from the Davenport Strikers. She's holding down that right back position in the number 66 jersey that she wears. Wilkinson crowded out by the yellow shirts. It just hung in the air there as Bodgers tried to catch out Mia Bailey there. Avondale, it's just starting to become a bit of a battle against time now as we tick down towards 10 minutes plus added time left for them to try and save their Nike FC Cup campaign for 2026. Plenty of support coming from the far side. You can hear that. Avondale girls who've been out training tonight coming here to watch their senior team. Here's Miata. Puts it out in front of Bodgers. Getting back to save the day is Mia Hayson. Happy to concede the throw. So a lot of play in the Heidelberg defensive third in this last few minutes. Miata. Bodgers gets the first time ball in. And it's cleared away that time by Rosie Wild. Wild and Hayson are both being called upon time and time again to repel these Avondale attacks. Sloane Young might be able to get to the byline here. Oh, she fouled there by the substitute. No whistle on play, so it's going to continue. Bodgers can get the cross in now. Wilkinson was there. Barrero was lining up at the back post. It's cleared away by Kerwood Wagner in the end. So it's getting a little bit scrambly out there. You can see the desperation. Neither side wants their cup campaign to be extinguished tonight.
Wave after attacking wave for Avondale. Heidelberg United digging in.
Do you think this Heidelberg defence can hold on, or is the damn wall going to burst here, Brent?
Well, yeah, that's the question. Working overtime, particularly that centre-half pairing that you mentioned of Wild and Hayson, who have been good tonight. As that one's out off Jurich. At least they're able to get the ball up the pitch here, Heidelberg United, and breathe a little. That's when Stanley has to go down the steps to retrieve the football. You're right, though, time starting to become the enemy of the Avengers, who did take the lead after 23 minutes, and then 2 late goals in that first half from Heidelberg United. Now able to snatch the lead, the Burgers. We're having a substitution here for Avondale. This is the goal scorer of that penalty in the 23rd minute, Cameron Barrero. She comes on, and replacing her will be Olivia Lazarevska. Have we got that number correct, Steve?
I think we're pretty good for the Avondale numbers. Apologies if we have got any of the substitutes wrong as they've come on for Heidelberg. We've had some contradicting numbers from the Facebook graphic and the Dribble app not loading up correctly for us, but also hats off to Sven Samuel for giving us a look behind the scenes at the lineup and some fun facts about the starting 11 and some of the subs tonight.
It's when Stanley can't get past Sloane Young. Akiyama, her goal has Heidelberg United destined for the round of 16. In the corner flag, Sima, Razumich, cramped a little, Akiyama and Razumich. Now Asuma's first time cross. No golden shirts in at the near post. And here comes Sydney Allen, rolling forward for Avondale. Biddy Goad, who's tried her absolute guts out tonight out on that left wing. Avondale building. Wilkinson, played away by Hayson. They have not taken any risks at all tonight, those Heidelberg United defenders, when they've been caught in those positions out wide. They're happy enough to give up a throw in and then get back in their defensive block, which they are. All of these players within maybe 30 yards of the ball, and that's a disappointing foul to give away there, returning from an offside position.
Just trying to work out if Del Donnelly might have gone to a back three here with Janet Cyrus. Actually, Miata's sitting in there at the moment. She's going to play just in front of those defenders, but they've got plenty of players shifting higher up the park now. And it seems like also Teo Juric, who started in centre mid, then got moved at half-time to the right-back role, is effectively playing as a central defender here. We've got another Heidelberg player down. We've got a couple of Heidelberg players down on the floor at the moment. One of them is Minori Akiyama. We saw her stretching out the legs in the previous, or a couple of phases of play ago. There's another change coming up here for the Burgers. We believe it is Saffron Lacuria, who is the daughter of a former AFL player, Paul Lacuria. Pretty handy player for the Pies back in his day.
Yeah, played his whole career there, I believe, from memory. So I wonder how serious these, we'll label them as injuries, but how serious they are for Heidelberg. You mentioned they are back up very quickly on Friday night, so they may have to rotate their squad quite a lot when they go to Jenna Steele on Friday night, which will be a big match against Preston, who are struggling a little bit in the MPLW Victoria this season.
They are struggling a little bit. Preston are tipped to be doing pretty well this year, but just sitting in 11th place at the moment, below both of these sides. So that substitution has gone through there. Minori Akiyama has been subbed out with cramp. So an opportunity off the bench for Saffron Licuria. Here's Wilkinson. She's dispossessed, though, by O'Donoghue, switching the play. Tiktikaris had evaded her, picked up by Goad. Now Allen can drive through the spaces in between the yellow shirts, of which there was plenty back, and Bailey's in possession. A little bit of a collision there with the substitute Bodgers. Bailey's going to put her foot right through this one and play it up towards the American in Sarah Asuma. And here she goes, Asuma. There's no signs of jet lag there from her as she goes striding forward in possession and then butters up to slide in to try and win it back after losing it. There's Janet Saris. So it's just a matter of Heidelberg trying to hang on. They have lost a little bit of midfield stability by having Akiyama subbed out with cramp, but they'll be hoping that Saffron Licuria can hold the ship together just in front of that central defensive duo. It's a Burgers throw here, and they're just going to try and take the time to send someone forward to come and take this. So it looks like it is Bidwell to take. There's questions about how much added time. Of course, there's no fourth official tonight, so hard to know exactly how long beyond the 90 Angie Magnion will allow this game to continue. But it won't be long till we're at her discretion. It's forward by Hayson. Bounced a little awkwardly for Janet Cyrus, so she just goes back to Bennett, who hasn't had a touch in, I would say, a very long time. There's been so much play up the other end of the park. Jurich's head up.
I reckon her last touch was that ghost touch that the referee said was not a touch.
True. Maybe the resulting goal kick after that probably was, and it was quite a while ago. Goad's got a bit of space right in front of our broadcast position here. Plays it over the top towards Sloane Young. It was well played by Wild to get it away. Oh, West went to ground. Plenty of noise from the Heidelberg technical area, and well, they're happy with that because they get the free kick and they can take some more time off the clock here. Will Avondale swing any changes, or are they going to just try and ride by the seat of their pants here to find an equaliser that would force this game to extra time? Good touch by Razumich. She had a little bit of space, and Jurich comes away with it. Tiktikaris, Razumich in space now. Back onto her preferred right foot by the inverted winger. Bennett gets another touch in as many minutes. Avondale can build up down this left-hand side. Inside the centre circle is Young. Plenty of yellow shirts behind the ball here.
Is there one more opportunity for the Avengers? We are in the final minutes of the 90. Well done there by O'Donoghue. Heidelberg United, who have done so much defending in this second half, particularly in the last 20 minutes or so. We told you that the Burgers will be away to Preston on Friday night. Avondale have a home meeting with Alamein as we go round the fixtures again. Here's an opportunity for Heidelberg United to turn off the lights at Paisley Park. An opportunity for Tiktikaris. And hello, City Vista. We would like to book a table. In 2 weeks' time, it will be Heidelberg United heading for George Cross. As Eve Tiktikaris, who celebrated a birthday yesterday, a late present for her. And the damn wall has been kicked in now. Avondale 1, Heidelberg United 3.
Yeah, great move by Heidelberg. You can see the spaces were opening up in behind as Avondale sent more and more players forward. Good move by O'Donoghue down that right-hand side, and it was just a matter of picking her pass. She picked out Tic Harris really well, and then the first touch opened up the angle to slot the ball past Brooke Bennett. We're not going to have extra time here because the Burgers have got the 2-goal cushion, and they're just about over the line. They got a 1-0 win against the Avengers in their meeting earlier this season, which was their only ever previous meeting before this, but these two sets of players who, one of them know each other fairly well. The bragging rights are going to be going for the way of the girls in all yellow tonight. 3-1 to the Burgers, and a fine finish by the youngster there, Tic Harris, who celebrates her return to the club and in her second appearance back with the Burgers with a decisive goal to seal this result in the Nike FC Cup.
So Avondale
Round of 32 tonight.
Avondale will have the rest of the season to just concentrate on the league. Sloan Young trying to turn there, and Heidelberg United. It would have been really disappointing for them after obviously making the final and losing in the shootout to have gone out the first time of asking. But they will live to fight another day, and they'll back themselves to go and beat George Cross in a couple of weeks. It'll be an NPLW team taking on State League 1 side. Avondale they'll try again next season in the cup competition. And who would have thought that this would be the scoreline after the way the first half an hour played out?
Avondale so good early in this one. They might be able to get a consolation goal late here. Bodgers just needed a better touch there, but Mia Bailey's been excellent tonight. She's been busy, and again, she's doing well there. And Razumich, who already has that important goal that levelled us up in the first half, plays the square ball looking for her American striker there, but she couldn't quite play it out in front of Sarah Asuma.
Just looking at Minori Akiyami down there on the bench at Heidelberg United, I think she's trying to see, was that my goal? Or who got the last touch there?
She's got the tablet out, or the mobile device. One of the team managers has come to grab that one back. 90 seconds to go, we're being told here, if I'm not wrong.
We missed the fourth official, don't we?
We're so used to the digital board and going up for the substitutions and well, they're onside here. It's a 2v2. Razumich can play it in front of Asuma. This is Sarah Asuma around the goalkeeper. Cuts it back, and good recovery by Bennett. Well, Asuma thought she was in there for sure.
She just slipped at the critical moment, Asuma.
A goal on debut to